Hello and welcome back to another episode of Look What Just Found. Today is episode 79. And we are going to continue to search through these donated pennies from my cousin. He has been collecting pennies for 10 years. And yesterday was 2 weeks ago. I did a sneak teaser preview of said pennies, and there were some good ones there. So I'm really excited about it. It's as close to customer submitted bankrolls as we can get. And trying to tighten this up a little bit. Okay. And I'm kind of excited about it. We're going to see. So on the 92, we're looking for the close. Of course, we're looking for the close, so it's going to be wide. Even though there's a little dent on it, it's pretty interesting. So let's see, what are we gonna do? Let's put both zinc and copper on the right side and see if that way I don't have to reach across the camera. And let's see if my cousin got anything good in his pocket change. I see that. It's just a reflection though. This is where we would, I think this is the angle that we would get the best double die, even though in the other way it's just a reflection. See, if you go like this, you'll see like a little reflection, so you have to be careful with that. Today was cleaning day, so I'm actually starting the video today later. I'm not sure if any of you out there experienced the same issues that I do. It's too close. But sometimes I get so involved with the coin roll hunting that it can go on for days and days and days. And then I become more, I'm going to look at what that's going on in the D. I become more and more disorganized. Until it becomes a major issue, and then I end up having my wife ends up helping me out, and I guess in extension helping the channel out. So props to my wife. Now, of course, what? It's always the same, right? we're looking for. So what's the like? I get one of the same questions I get all the time, which is a natural question because I ask myself it all the time. So of course, from my viewers, it makes a lot of sense to ask, how much is something worth? Right? Think about it. It's a very interesting. It sounds like such a benign question, but really it says a lot, right? It says that, well, it could say, I shouldn't say it says, it could say about me and others asking the same question, that is part of our interest in the hobby and coin searching. Look at that. You know what this is from? I'm going to give you a second to tell me what do you think about this damage. It goes through the 7-1. It goes through the E. Goes through the top of the head. Goes through the bottom. And just on one side. That's from the crimp roll machine. It just sliced off and chopped the top of the 70. So it's post mint. Well, I shouldn't say it's post mint. It could be at the mint damage, but not minted damage. As far as I know, there's not. Oh, a 59 in my cousin's pocket change. Yeah, boy, nice. As far as I know, there's not a big demand for crimp roll damage pennies. If there was, best believe I'd be selling them. And so would a lot of other people. So, my nose is itchy. I feel like I'm going to have to sneeze. Oh my goodness. From all the cleaning I've been doing. I think there's a little dust in the air. I did put on the air purifier before. And but it's so loud, you know, I had to shut it off to do the video. So, what's it worth? I mean, honestly, that should be like the title. That would be a great YouTube channel title. There's got to be one out there. What's it worth? I mean, you want to start up a channel? Just do that. And that's what everybody wants to know. What's it worth? And don't get me wrong, it's what I want to know too. I put the 71. See, I'm already confused. I'm mixing up already the coppers with the zincs because I put them all on one side. Because I know most of these are going to be zinc. You know what I mean? All right, I moved them into a little extra further away. When I see, even though I understand that the V is only on the, well, as I understand it, it's only on the 2023. I'll still check out of reflex. I'll check the, oh, come on, buddy, what are you doing? I'll check the VDB if I see a weird mark down there. Just can't help myself. Oh, that's a beauty, Randy. Wowzers. Gracias de nada. That is, so we have, so far, we've gotten 5 coppers so far. Check this out. The 1959, those 2 coppers, a fine copper, and an AU. I'm just saying, just the 5 that we got, they were pretty cool. So I found that to be a little interesting. But then I find everything to be interesting. 94. So, I mean, the fact of the matter, like, so what's it worth? We'll stick on that. We'll stick on that topic for the rest, maybe for the rest of this video until I get think of something else to talk about. So the truth of the matter is, most errors are worthless. Don't add value to the coin, the penny. If I had to think of a percentage, now when I say value, right, I'm talking about monetary value, not intrinsic value or personal value or anything like that. Monetary, like if you collect 2008 pennies, then this has value to you because that's what you're looking for, right? You're spending time and energy to get those pennies. I'll put this with the fines. I mean monetary. What's the market? I'm gonna get comfortable. Sorry. What's the market for that coin with that error? And if there's no market for it, then it has no value, right? So that's basically how I determine the value of a penny. Or I guess a coin in general. How do you know what the market is? You go to eBay, you go to advanced settings. You type in the coin that you're looking for, or whatever it is you're interested in. You click sold and enter. You could even put in other parameters. You could put in under this amount or above that amount. Like if there's thousands and thousands, you can narrow down the parameters for the item you want to search for the value on of what's sold in the past 90 days. That's how eBay works. Before what was it called? I think PWCC or PCWW. No. PWCC, which they're still in operation and they're very big time and all of that. But there was a scam a few years ago. You could look it up and read all the information on it with PWCC and with eBay, and they were, my understanding, they were accused of bid shilling. Bid shilling is, if you don't know, bid shilling is bidding on your own items to get a higher amount on the item. It's definitely unethical. Whether or not it's illegal or not, that I don't know. I guess so. I don't know. Definitely unethical and goes against eBay's policies. Okay. So why am I bringing that up? I'm gonna look at that. Yeah, I see those little marks there, and I just want to look at them. I can't help myself. I'm bringing that up because PWCC somehow they had access to all of eBay's price history. Now, if you have an eBay store, you get access at some level to your eBay store. You get access to something called research. And I think it goes back 2 years. But I have to tell you, it's clunky. It's clunky and stinky. It's cheap. I mean, I guess they do. I don't know why they do that, to be honest with you. I don't know why they can't. How come somebody with a different? I'm gonna check out the rotation on this one. it's not that bad. How can another organization take eBay's information and produce a better quality search engine, a program, whatever, than eBay itself can produce for its own customers? That is horrendous, and really says something about eBay and how much extra energy they're willing to put in to give customer satisfaction to their users. So PWCC had this search that made up their own search engine, and let me tell you, it was phenomenal. It went back, if I recall correctly, 20 years, almost like, at that point, I don't want to say, eBay started in the 90s. I remember when it first started, and I bought I'm going to look at that in the bottom. When it started in the 90s, I was in my undergraduate. And I needed a computer. I never had a computer. And what is that? Oh, I'm gonna put this one in the cleaner. Oh yeah, you're going in. That's a good candidate. I added some extra. What's that called? That's a pretty serious misaligned die. Let me tell you. That's a pretty serious misaligned die. Again, so now it's actually it's off-centered. It's not misaligned. It's on both sides. So it's off-centered. It's not misaligned die. Question is someone going to pay $1 for it? They might pay $1 for that one because it's off-centered, not misaligned. I don't even keep misaligned dies anymore unless they're really super. Excuse me. So I needed a computer. Friend of mine said, get it on eBay. I went on eBay and I bought my first computer in 1996 off of eBay. I think eBay opened up like 1995 or 4 or something like that. Something like that. They just opened. Their stock was like 50 cents or $1. I bought it at $5, which if I would have kept it would have been worth a lot right now. If you bought it at 50 cents and you bought a bunch, you'd be swimming in it right now. 1987. That's pretty interesting. I'm going to keep it just as a... I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to do a short on it because it's just cool looking. That's what I do with... oh, look at that. That's what I do with interesting coins that I'm not going to keep. I'll just do a short and... That's it. For entertainment purposes. It's just cool looking. Somebody else might want to see some of the weird and wild and zany pennies I find. So that's how long I've been using eBay. Since 1996. So for eBay to be around 1994, 2024, 30 years. They've been around for 30 years, and they allowed a competitor to use their information and provide better service to eBay's customers I mean, you could say it's PWCC's customers, but not really, because the only reason I even knew about PWCC was because of eBay, because they were selling on eBay. They were huge, huge, huge on eBay. All those little things. I see that on the surface. I just want to check it out real quick. And eBay allowed someone else to outdo them with their information, and that's says something about their mismanagement and lack of enthusiasm to service their customers. But PWCC had this tremendous search engine. I mean, I was on it all day, every day, because I was using it in auctions. I mean, we're talking about, again, it's more than, I'm going back now. I'm gonna say 8 years is the last time that I recall PWCC's that search engine online. So I don't know if just look at whenever that scandal happened, it was like within a week, eBay blocked PWCC, and that was it for them. So there was a complaint, a scandal. They were put on what's that called? They were suspended, and then I'll look at the T, and then that was it. They were gone, never to come back again. And in my opinion, that really hurt PWCC's reputation, and they had a lot of scandals going on with their the people who work, their employees. But they had a tremendous search engine. I mean, if you were ever on it, you know I'm talking. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it was the best. I've been on a lot of search engines for price histories, Worth Point, Card Ladder. There's a bunch of them, and PWCC's eBay one was 98 white AM. Yeah. And was the best. It was free. It was awesome, because what you could do is, so for example, you're into pennies, right? The people who are asking me about what's it worth, they're talking about pennies. You could be searching, so there's like, let's say there's thousands and thousands of pennies in auction all day long. You could be searching pennies all day long and looking at their prices and what they've been selling for, right? So let's say this one type of era that you're interested in, not this one time, but you're searching through eras, right? Era pennies, and every minute there's a penny, an era penny auction ending. So you're watching them all day long. You got 84. It's just damage. You're watching these pennies, right? But you're also researching how much they're worth, right? That's the whole point of this conversation that I started at the beginning of the show. How much is it worth? So you're searching. You have this. If you have a really fluid and easy to use, user-friendly program interface, I'm gonna check that out. That's definitely doubled on top of the IN there. The only question is, how good is it? Not good enough for me. I'll be honest with you. It's not. I'm not. I'm not gonna. If I can't, like I said, if I can't get $1 for it, forget about it. Um, so you're searching, and it's very fluid. So it's very quickly. You can look at something that's ending in auction, and then do I have the scale out? And you can search what it sold for recently. So let's say 2.5. Let's say you want to look for whatever the error is. I shouldn't say anything specific, because if you have a really good search engine and a fluid search engine, then you could just, it's very easy to use. So very quickly you could see pennies or coins, whatever you're searching for, and you can see what they sold for recently through this. You can have the other window open, right? That you're just clicking on the window, opening back and forth, and you can see what they've sold for in the past. Not even the past. See, eBay now, you can only look for the past 90 days. I mean, a lot happens in a year or 2 years or 5 years, right? So just seeing what something sold for in the past 90 days, I mean, it's helpful just to, but as far as for like very thorough research, that's not good at all, because it's not telling you the full history of what something is worth. But when I clicked on something, with PWCC's, I'll put that with the fines, PWCC's search engine, it was 15 or 20 years. It was like almost since the inception of eBay. So let's talk about baseball players. Jose Canseco, right? Great player. Had some issues. And his stock went zooming down, right? I don't even know if he was even ever able to get into the Hall of Fame or anything like that anymore. So, for example, just somebody who had an issue, right, like Jose Canseco. So you're collecting this person's cards, and then there's an issue with the person, and you can see that all the prices are dropping. But then you can also go back and you can see 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, whenever the person started playing, and you can see a very nice timeline of the sales of whatever it is that you're looking for, and you can start plugging in any relevant history that you know of regarding the item, the person, into that timeline, and it'll give you a better understanding possibly about what it's going to sell for in the future. I'm going to give you an example. And I've used this example in the past before, but if you haven't watched all my videos, which I know you have not, look at this one. It almost looks like a bronze. I'm pretty sure it is zinc. The only question is, and it's a small date. Oh, look at that. So we have a Philadelphia small date, and I'm pretty sure it's zinc. 250, right on the nose. So it is zinc, of course. It's a small date. How do you know it's a small date? The 2 looks like a question mark. See that? It has that little curve on the bottom of the 2. So it's a small date. So that is the second 82, I believe, right? What's the other one? No, first 82 we got. That's it. First one. Nice. So I used to collect Shaquille O'Neal cards. You see, I dropped it. That means it's true. Oh, good luck. I used to collect Shaquille O'Neal cards about 15 years ago, and I had a bunch of them. And I mean, they were so cheap, and I liked them so much. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna buy a bunch of them." I mean, they were so super cheap. I'm throwing this one out. But every once in a while, you know, I would watch the auctions for. Look at that T. I'd watch the auctions for. They're called inserts. An insert is a special type of card, sports card. Could actually be other than sports cards now. You know, they have the Marvel and all those other ones. They also call them inserts. But they're special, right? It's a special type of a card that they do per capita. Their ratio is lower than the other common cards. So there would be some inserts that I would watch, you know, and to see how much they would sell for, right? Okay. So there was this one card that I watched and I watched and I watched, and then I tried to snipe it at the end, and I got it. I got it for $6. I'll never forget it. I can't remember. There was no tax on eBay back then, by the way. There was no tax. I just had to pay shipping, and shipping was like $1.25. That was with tracking in the whole 9 yards, right? So I'm talking about 15 years ago. So I bought the card for $6, maybe it was $7, but with shipping or something like that. Well, 6 months later, I'm saying 6, it could be 5, it could be 7. Several months later, I sold the card. I put it up for buy it now, and someone made me an offer. I'm gonna look at that. That sure looks like a V right there. Tell me that doesn't look like a V. You can see it right here in the camera. It's a 94, so it shouldn't be a V, but you can see it. I mean, it's not I don't know if it's a hard V. You know, there's no way to prove what it is. It looks like a V. Even next to it looks like a L, to be honest with you. But it's probably just light scratches that are in the shape of, but you can see it right there above the VDB. Right there. Yeah, right there. You can see it. Anyway, so a few months later, I guess I needed money, and I sold it for $60. I'm telling you, I can look at. Let me see. I'll show you right now. I'm actually gonna take. I want to make a point right now. I'm actually going to. I'm gonna look it up on eBay real quick to show you. I'll see if I can find the exact card. I don't know if I can, but I'll put in Shaquille credentials. Okay, and then I'll click sold, search. So this is, remember, so the question was, look at this. The question was, what does something sell for? It doesn't even, it's not even here. They don't even have, so see, it's only 90 days. I'll show you. See, it only goes back 90 days. So I put in Shaquille credentials, and that's the only card that came up, just one. But if this was for 15 years, there'd be hundreds, maybe thousands of cars that show. So that just shows you how crappy the eBay. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I shouldn't say crappy. I take that back. But just not nowhere as good as what PWCC's search engine was. And they, as soon as they got kicked off of eBay, they lost. It was suspended. It was gone. I know that they have one now, but it's like their cards or something like that. It's not as good as it used to be. Let's put it like that. So back to the story. So I bought the card for. Oh yeah. Oh man, if this was a small date, that would have been it, man. Jackpot. It's a D. It's a large date though. Still a beautiful coin. This is worth. I'm gonna weigh it. Feels, for some reason it feels thick. $308. Nope. That's a beauty. That's worth a couple bucks. So, I mean, in that condition, I'm saying. In that condition. Copper D, that's definitely in AU condition. Is it in MS condition? Maybe. Might be an a low MS. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm going to say AU, high AU. So I sold it for $60, and I was tickled pink. It sold last year. I'm gonna say last year, about a year ago. It sold for $2,500. Same car. Not the they made. There was 60 of them. That credentials. There was 60 or 60 something, 62. 64. It was the bronze one, bronze version, 2003 or 4. That's some now. Let me tell you, that is some blister right there. You see it going straight through. Wow. Let me look at the. Nah. I'm not selling the blistered anymore. I mean, I'm not saving them to sell. I'm saying. So it sold for $2,500 last year, something like that year, and which is why we can't see it on eBay, because eBay only goes back 9 months, but 10 years ago PWCC could use eBay's and go back 20 years, but today. On eBay's own, I mean, you could use, like I said, you could. So research. Let me go to research. I'll go to research. Let me go. Let me see. I'll check research. Let me check research. Which, let me check research. Which you have to have an eBay store to use research. I don't think they don't give that. They don't give that to everybody. Like if you unless you're paying the extra money for a store, you can't do research. Research. Telepeak product research. Okay. Shaquille, we're gonna look again. Credentials. And again, we're looking for sold. And see, it goes 2 years. Past 2 years. I'm going to go highest first. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right, so I got it up. And it shows the sold price. So here, so that's not the one. I'll see if they have the one, but that one sold for $2,700. That's the one out of 39. That sold for $2,300. Let me see if they have. I'm looking to see if they have the one. I had these. This one I had a bunch of them. That was at a $4.99. I had a bunch of those. Those were about $50 15 years ago, and they're selling for $2,000 now. It was this one, but it was the one out of 60 something. That one sold for $8.95, but I remember it sold in auction for the copper. I think it was the copper. It sold for 20 something hundred. Okay, so that's one. That's the other way to search for what something's worth. I'm saying on eBay. So that's a beauty. I put that in. Has a very slick surface too. I'll put that in the finds. Let me just check something real quick. Okay. So if you have a search engine that goes back many years, so the research, the Telepeak research goes back 2 years. That's not enough time to look for trends. I'll be honest with you, because you want to see. I want to see what something started out with. 82. I'll weigh this one. I'm pretty sure this is copper, large date. Yeah, Philadelphia. Yep, 305. We found another 82. That 82D is so far. It's the that's the money coin right there. It's worth a couple bucks. That's it so far. Well, we got the 59, and then we got that that misaligned die. Right, because you want to look for trends. You know, when the person did good, how did they sell? You know, if they won the World Series, they won a Super Bowl. So a good example of that was Tom Brady, right? I want to look at the bottom of that. 2010. Tom Brady is a very good example. See, there's a little V there. It's not the same V. I mean, it's just. I guess it's just damage, right? Because it's not 2000. It's not a really good V, but there is. You can see it though, right through the camera. Yeah, you can see it down there, but I guess that's not what we're looking for. So Tom Brady is a good example, because he's had so many ups and downs, and he's had so much drama in his career, that if you know when he had his drama and you have a search engine that goes back, we'll put this into the AUs. That's nice. And especially because it's a 64, you know, it's like something you'd want. And if you know all those time periods, and then you have a spreadsheet or a timeline of all what his cards sold for, right? Or his memorabilia or whatever that you're interested in regarding Tom Brady, you could make, you know, and you could look at inflation. You could just, whatever it is, whatever markers or indicators that you're interested in. If you're able to plug those into his timeline, his sales of whatever the items are that you're looking for, the timeline, that might help you to make an educated guess for what's going to happen in the future. So there was some drama around Tom Brady recently, right? Regarding what's that called? Crypto. Let's see. Floating roof? No. and then his wife breaking up with his wife and blah blah blah, and then he left he left the NFL. He's the GOAT, right? As far as football goes, most people consider him the GOAT. He has cat hair. So why did his stuff go down? Is it because everybody's stuff went down? Was it the day after, right? Because with a good search engine, you can see on the day that prices are going up and down, right? 1998. We're looking for the wide, right? Yeah, we're looking for the wide. So now I'm just adding some information to this. Now Tom Brady's stuff is going up. Why is it going up? He's going to be an announcer next year for Fox. Hall of Fame stuff. There's so many different variables for why something is going to go up. Now, does that mean it's going to stay up? You don't know, right? And when it comes to coins are a little bit more stable than, let's say, sports cards. So that's, to me, they're a better investment. 1999. There's something on his jacket there. I'm going to look at that. Just damage. Coins are more stable than other assets, or another 1982 copper, Philadelphia large date. And last but not least, it's got a little mush in the face. Huh. It's a beauty, huh? Believe it or not, it's probably done on the mint, but nobody's really interested. They're more common than you would think. Nobody's really interested in errors like this, unfortunately. All right. So thank you for honoring me with your presence and viewing the video. And I'll see you on the next one. Oh my God. That was a long one for some reason. Oh, is this thing still on? Oh man, did I forget to shut it off? Tricked ya. Only if you knew. Where's the Lord at? Give me a Lord. Okay, always present. Always present. So, what's it worth? It's it's what drives. It's a driver. It's what motivates a lot of people to do things. Get up and go to work. Coin roll hunt. Invest. A lot of things, right? Because what are you really looking to happen? You're looking to get back more than what you put in. That's it. That's the bottom line. If you invest $1, you want back more than $1. Now, how much more? That's a different question, right? Now, would that be considered greed? One person's greed is another person's bar, their low point. What's a lot of money to you It's not a lot of money to somebody else. What's a lot of money to me is not a lot of money to you. So there's too many variables, and me personally, I prefer not to judge on any of that. As far as like what's worth my time, you know what I mean? How much my time is worth. If that was the case, I wouldn't even be doing videos. You know, I make basically nothing off of them. Now, will that change one day? That's a different story, right? That's speculating. That's a whole nother ball game. With Shaquille O'Neal, I was pretty secure, that confident that his personality, like I could see his whole projection and where he was going, and I used the money to buy real estate. I sold my cards and I bought real estate with it. That's how many of his cards I had. I had enough to buy a house. If I would have kept his cards, well, the funny thing is, if I would have kept the cards, no, they would have, the type of house that I bought, I probably would have been able to buy 10 of them today, with how his cards went up in value in comparison to what they were, as opposed to real estate from that time period to today. Even if real estate tripled or quadrupled in price, which it didn't, but let's just say it did, his cards went up 100x. So there's no, and they're small, right? So you can't even compare it. Now pennies, coins, same thing, very portable. And if you find a good coin, if you find a good, I mean, a penny is the lowest denomination. So if you find a very good era, that's worth, I mean, a dollar, I wouldn't say a dollar, because between taxes and all that, that's almost like just giving it away, you know, because you're not making a dollar, right? You know, shipping, taxes, and everything is. But let's say you found one that was worth $10, and you were able to keep 50% of that after taxes and shipping and eBay fees and what have you. Well, that's tremendous. You know, again, that's if you're not putting a you know, an amount on how much your time is worth. Then forget about it. Then that's a whole nother ball game too, because you know, you can, McDonald's is paying $20 an hour now. So you know, you work 10 hours at McDonald's, you make $200. So why worry about pennies? If I'm saying, if monetary value is all you're looking for, but as a hobby, that's great, right? You know, if you can make a few bucks while doing something you enjoy, you'll never work a day in your life. So I'll end there. I hope that wasn't too much of a drawn out talk about the value, because we really stood on that topic throughout the whole coin roll hunt, and then the bonus feature. I call this the bonus feature. We really stood on that topic today, and it's a good topic. I wouldn't be surprised if I talk about it again. I hope the whole eBay and the Telepeak or TerraPeak, and how to use the advanced search. I hope that was helpful. I've gotten questions on that in the past, and that'll be the end for episode 79. The next one is episode 80. Let's see. If I'm gonna do a I usually put a bonus video up. I try to put one up every day. The pickings were a little slim today. We found a few decent items, so I might not put one up today, because I use the content and the pennies for shorts and for the significant finds. So we're going to go into significant finds now. You can see that in the playlist, or in the video, if you're searching through videos on the channel. And I'll see you on the next one.